Hello, and welcome to Mrs. Jensen's audiobooks. Today we're going to be reading Act 1 summaries of Romeo and Juliet. So the play begins with a prologue. Think about this as the introduction or the foreword of the play. The chorus comes out and tells us in a sonnet that the play will concern a pair of lovers whose death shall end the conflict between their families that are sworn enemies and have been fighting for generations. Hold up. Did they just tell us that the two main characters are going to die at the end? Yes, indeed they did. We learn this right away. So before the audience even watches the play, they already know that Romeo and Juliet, unfortunately, their lives end. Side note for you guys, a sonnet is a poem of 14 lines using any number of formal rhyme schemes, in English typically having 10 syllables per line. Shakespeare is as famous for his sonnets as he is for his plays. Act 1, Scene 1, this is where the action starts. Samson and Gregory, servants of the Capulet family, encounter Abram and Balthazar of the Montague household in a street in Verona. They fight. Benvolio appears and tries to stop them, but Tybalt enters and insists on dueling with him. Citizens attempt to break up the brawl as Capulet and Montague join in, to the disapproval of their wives, Lady Capulet and Lady Montague. The prince arrives and threatens both of their families. He declares that any further fighting will be punished with death. The prince and the Capulets depart, and the Montagues discuss with their nephew Benvolio the mysterious sadness that afflicts their son Romeo. As Romeo approaches, his parents leave Benvolio, Romeo's cousin, to interrogate him. Benvolio learns that Romeo is in love with a woman, Rosalind, who ignores him. Benvolio recommends that his cousin consider other women, but Romeo declares that his love's beauty will cast a shadow on all others. Wait a minute, Rosalind? Juliet? Yeah. The play starts, he's in love with another girl. Act 1, Scene 2. Paris asks Capulet's permission to marry his daughter, Juliet. Lord Capulet argues that Juliet's too young, but if Paris can win Juliet's heart at the planned party for that night, he will give his approval. He gives his servant a list of guests with instructions to deliver invitations, and Lord Capulet and Paris depart. Romeo and Benvolio pass by, and the servant asks for their assistance, for he's illiterate and he can't read the list. Romeo reads the list of guests, which includes the name of his beloved Rosalind. He and Benvolio decide to attend the banquet in disguise. Romeo wishes to see Rosalind, and Benvolio hopes that the sight of other beautiful women will cure his friend's love sickness. The nurse reminisces at length about Juliet's childhood. Lady Capulet tells Juliet about her father's plans for her marriage, and Juliet hesitantly agrees to maybe think about Paris's marriage request. Act 1, Scene 4. Romeo, Benvolio, and Mercutio arrive at the banquet. Romeo asserts that he will not dance due to his sadness over Rosalind, and he's teased by Mercutio. The group proceeds to the party, although Romeo shares his bad feeling about the night. Act 1, Scene 5. Servants joke among themselves as they clear away the dinner. While guests dance, Romeo first notices Juliet and is enchanted by her beauty. Tybalt recognizes him and rages against his presence. Capulet orders him to be peaceful, and he leaves in disgust. Romeo addresses Juliet, and their love immediately blossoms as they kiss. Juliet is called to her mother, and Romeo, a Montague, learns that she's a Capulet from the nurse. He's upset to learn that her family is his family's rival, and she, when learning his true identity from the nurse, is similarly distressed. So, quick recap for you guys. Romeo is in love with another girl at the start of the play. He goes to a party that he really shouldn't be at and falls in love with Juliet. They smooch, and basically that's it. Our play has begun. Romeo is a Montague, Juliet is a Capulet, and their families hate each other. So at the end of Act 1, we have tension. What will happen? What will these families do?